You're listening to the GemMint podcast by GFNF. Your weekly breakdown of sports cards, hobby news, and everything in between. Here's your hosts, Jake and Nico.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of GemMint by GFNF, the James Bond episode, 007. I kind of stole that from Jake before we started recording, but I thought it was really cool.
That's okay, I'm doing the pose over here. So.
Yeah. What's going on, Jake, man? How's your week going?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's nice to be back for another episode. It's rocking and rolling.
Yeah, pretty exciting week here.
Finally.
Yeah, I know. It's how's the weather out in Chicago? Jersey's pretty nice.
We had a warm-up day today, but it was cold and rainy, freezing rain a couple days prior, but not bad now.
But what is warm for Chicago? Like 45?
Yeah, mid-40s, upper 40s. I mean, I'm shorts and a t-shirt when it's above 40 here.
Are the Crocs in two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive?
Always two-wheel. The only way I put it in four wheels if we're getting into some nasty snow.
Yeah, some snow. I feel you. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, Jersey, it was actually pretty decently warm this week. It was cold, but it was sunny, so it was pretty nice out. It was 70 degrees a week ago. It was the most obscene weather in the middle of February I've ever seen.
I've been telling myself, lying to myself. As soon as it gets close to 50 degrees, I'll finally take the Christmas lights down, but it'll probably be down by summer.
You still have Christmas lights up?
No.
Oh my God. Okay.
No.
All right, we'll switch topics here. We'll go right into the retail rundown here. We saw Target this week, so we didn't see anything last week. Had the anticipated drop. It was surprisingly small in the grand scheme of things. 3 products, was it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe 3.
Maybe 3. It was Mosaic NBA mega boxes, and then we had NFL cellos for Mosaic and hanger boxes.
Right,
and,
which they changed the cellos from quantity 12 down to 3.
Yeah, so they went from, which makes you wonder, because if you recall last week we talked about how they canceled orders because they oversold.
Right.
And then a week later, they miraculously have a ton more. So makes you kind of think that they probably had a little technical blunder with allowing 12.
They're still sitting on the website, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they?
They eventually sold out. I think they've just been kind of trickling in here and there. Probably just canceled orders.
Yeah.
I don't think anything major, but I think everyone was kind of focused more on the hanger boxes.
That was a big one.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the group do really, really well with those. I know between you and I think it probably cleared at least 500 or 600.
Yeah, we did well.
Yeah, so yeah, pretty awesome there.
On the post too, lots of members in.
Yeah, it did look like Target did change something on their end. It was almost a little bit of a scare. Most people were using KSR for Target, and the cellos drop and nothing happened. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, nothing's nothing's moving." People are freaking out, but yeah, luckily we were able to kind of switch gears and make some changes there to get some tasks to push through. So that was nice to see. In store wise, Mosaic blasters are in Walmart. They also have had hangers I've seen. Not all the stores. I think some vendors probably put them out early. As well as Formula One blasters, which are doing really, really well. I don't know. I've been following some of the single sales from Formula One, and those foil parallels, which I think are only in blaster boxes, honestly seem to be doing the best.
Yeah. How are the relics doing? Oh, you know what? That's hobby, isn't it?
That's only hobby, but the foils, I think I could have sworn those were supposed to be hobby exclusive, and then they found their way into the blasters. And I know Hamilton in a foil was doing $150. I looked last night and there was a sale, which is pretty good for a $20 box. I don't think you're hitting anything, maybe you will, 7X in, a hobby box. But yeah, so that's nice to see. And then we did recently just see Target we Target with the in-store, they more so focus on football, basketball, pulling that stuff out of the store. The UFC and racing and baseball has kind of always made it in through all this. So we did see Formula One is showing up in store in Target. So be sure to check your stores near you either this week or next week for possibility that those are just sitting there. They're probably not sitting there, but maybe you get lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think the biggest drop of the week, which shout out to Momolas for getting that write up together real quick, and I'll let you touch on this one just because I was not around to run it, unfortunately, was the UEFA Pearl. So if you want to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, so Topps UK Twitter posted a status in the morning on Monday that was coming soon. And usually when they post coming soon, it usually means probably the next day. And when they post coming very soon, it means that day. But they posted coming soon. It was a picture of the Topps UEFA Pearl box. It comes with a guaranteed auto and a parallel, kind of similar to the Deco and the gold. And about an hour and a half later, we had a shock drop on Topps UK. And we had a lot of people able to get up and fire up tasks if they were running KSR and hit, and we had a lot of people hit manually too. A little bit of a more shocking drop for UK than we were expecting. We were hoping to see maybe a day to get ready, but it seems like a ton of members hit.
Yeah, I'm just I'm looking at prices right now, and I mean, what did it come to shipped? Was it like 150?
145.
Yeah. I mean, sales are like pretty steady at 400. That's
2.5x.
yeah, that's pretty good. And I see a lot of people comparing this to Inception. The cards kind of look like Inception. So, and those hit, I want to say 700-800 a box.
Yeah, we haven't gone wrong with a Topps UEFA online exclusive drop yet.
Yeah, it's really hard to miss with those. Like you just kind of buy it, and their prices. I mean, shout out to them. Really, their prices are really, really, really priced well. With soccer,
comparatively.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if like they just haven't caught on to the resale market there, or like what it is. But like for what they've done to baseball in the U.S. With prices, I'm shocked that we haven't seen something similar with the soccer stuff. But shout out to our mates over there for keeping the prices low.
It's the pond.
Yeah. I do want to touch back on one thing with Target, and I guess maybe it's not Target exclusive, more of like a Panini thing, but we've seen more and more people hitting what we thought were hobby exclusive parallels in retail products. First we saw it with Mosaic Football. A couple people that hit stained glass, the honeycombs in cellos, blasters, and then
weird.
And then Mosaic NBA in the Target megas. We got people hitting peacocks, which are which is like a choice, which is an expensive box. It's like a $600 box. It has like 7 cards, and people are hitting those in $50 megas. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Do you think that was intentional? Do you think they,
I don't think it was intended. The peacock thing, that if people knew there was peacocks in the megas, it would almost negate buying the choice boxes. So I believe if it's true, and we haven't 100% verified that that's the case, right? I mean, we've seen pictures and people post about it, but I don't think we've had any members pull a peacock out of a mega yet.
No, I think we had one person that pulled one.
Okay,
yeah.
Then I would say definitely it's a mistake. It's got to be. I mean, that's the chase of the choice box.
Two products though, with football and basketball. That's the only reason I feel like it's not a mistake.
You think they're starting? I mean, they might be trying to sneak some hobby parallels into retail. That would be great. Maybe we'll see super fractors come out of Bowman blasters this year.
Oh God! I mean, maybe they are toying with the idea of doing it, and some kind of slipped through. I kind of hope they don't keep doing that. I like exclusives based on product. I think that helps, especially when you get a cool one. like we've seen with the light products, with the ray waves,
Right.
that kind of stuff. I really think that helps push product out more. It kind of builds a bigger market for it. So I hope they don't. I mean, the Peacock has just been like one of those like pretty sought after parallels for Mosaic. So now like you can get that in a $50 box is, you know, cool for most people, but it does, you know, kind of lose some of that lure of wanting to rip open choice boxes and um, you know, chase those big cards. So I guess we'll see what the next.
Tops has got a lot going on, so it wouldn't surprise me if something slipped by, but it also wouldn't surprise me if they did it on purpose.
Well, it's Panini. Tops
Yeah,
does.
but I'm saying Tops is known to have mistakes in their
Gotcha.
products as well, so
Oh, well, that's
they both
expected.
are behind. I mean, they're behind on production, right? We still have who knows when the next football product after Mosaic's coming out. They're definitely behind in production, so they're probably
Yeah.
scrambling. It's definitely possible it's a mistake, but you know, who knows?
Yeah. I don't know. It's. I guess we'll just get to keep an eye on the next products that are coming out.
Some megas and open them up, see if we can pull one.
Yeah. So also this past weekend, Topps had their industry conference, and there was a bunch of new stuff announced. I think probably I mean for us at least, biggest one. There was Bowman University, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like first Bowman Bryce Young cards.
Cards too.
I mean, yeah. Well, it's the 2022 Bowman design, which I absolutely love. I know we touched on it last week. And then Chrome Cosmic. Is that the basketball?
No, that's football as well. They're all going to do it for basketball, but it'll be the Topps Chrome Football Cosmic and Topps Chrome Basketball Cosmic. Don't know what those look like yet. We haven't seen them, but I'm assuming they'll be pretty cool and they'll have similar parallels to the mainline Chrome products.
Yeah, I mean the picture of this of the Bryce Young card we have here. I mean the parallel looks just like the lava from Bowman this year. So
The first Bowman logo on it.
yep, man, that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean for an unlicensed card, I think it'll do pretty well.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to tell that it's unlicensed, really.
Right.
I mean, they're just. I mean, if this doesn't solidify that they're gonna kick Panini to the curb, to me at least,
Yeah.
I don't know what does, because they want to see that they have the potential to design, produce football, basketball, and see how it sells. And you know, and then if they could slap the the branding on it, there's no reason that they need Panini. And I think it would be cool to have one design. Maybe it would get a little stale. I don't know. But like with Bowman, you have design across all the sports. I feel like that's pretty cool.
It's funny, you know. Obviously, as we mentioned, the industry conference is going on, and they mentioned that they have 13 products from 2021 that are all delayed due to what they're calling the supply chain crisis. That's what they're saying is the reason. Yet they're expanding their product catalog, so it's kind of interesting. But I love seeing the new products. Obviously, you know, bringing back Bowman Chrome football and basketball and stuff is super cool. But as far as right now, and you know how we both know is how much it changes. You know, they have stuff slated from 2021 into like May and June still, which one of the things we were talking about the other day was the Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary.
Oh yeah,
That's to come out
September.
model 52 Topps, and
Yeah,
that's got a release date of like late April, early May,
yeah. That was late September. Was the original
with
date?
2021 rookies on it, which is wild.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. But I mean, at the same time, like you can't expect them to just stop. Like PSA just stopped, you know, and then now they're back open. They're expanding. Topps is too, especially with Fanatics at the forefront now. They're just going to keep growing as you know as time goes on. So I understand why they have some catch up to do, but I think they'll get caught up and they'll figure out those logistical issues and supply chain issues and stuff. So yeah, so shout out to them for some awesome new products. Jackie Robinson, a ticket. This is pretty cool. A ticket stub from his debut in 1947 sold for $480,000.
Unbelievable.
And yeah, it was the same guy that bought the Jordan debut ticket in 1984
Earlier
for
in the
400.
same auction.
Yeah. So is that? I mean, that's got to be one of the only ticket stubs probably
So
out there,
the,
right?
so the Jordan he bought at the beginning of the auction set the record, and then he broke his own record a couple hours later and bought the Jackie Robinson.
That's crazy.
So that guy spent some money.
Is there?
Sure.
Was it graded?
Yeah, PSA, both.
Are there any other?
They're authenticated.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Are there any other Robinson tickets authenticated or graded from his debut?
Man, that I don't know. I would assume maybe.
I mean, I guess
I don't know any that have surfaced.
Yeah,
Definitely not going to find them on eBay.
I feel like back then, people were probably more apt to hold that kind of stuff. I don't know why, but
It was, I mean, unlike Michael Jordan, who was pretty hyped coming into the league out of North Carolina,
yeah,
Jackie Robinson was not a lot of people were a fan of Jackie Robinson's when he came into the league. Obviously,
sure.
they were separating from the original Negro leagues into the MLB or major leagues at that point, and he was not warmly recepted. But I don't know. There could be people might have saved some tickets.
Yeah, I'm sure more will eventually surface, but that's a really cool, really cool piece of history to own. The ticket market in general, I think, is definitely growing. I've seen a lot of assigned Brady, last Patriots game, other tickets like that for doing decent numbers, and I guess these days I feel like most tickets are digital, so it's hard to get that physical ticket, to get graded. So a lot of people go through some hoops to do it that way. But
Have you ever held one of the slabs with a ticket in it?
yeah.
Yeah, they're a little bit different than your normal card slab. They're obviously they're longer, a little bit skinnier, but they're a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a nice feeling to them. I don't know how long when they shut down. Did they shut down ticket grading? I don't know a ton of people that were sending mass amounts of tickets in, but
No, I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure you could send that to the new, I think, the New Jersey office that they have. Because there is a Jersey location that does like autographs and I believe tickets. I'm pretty sure you could always still get tickets graded. I think it was just cards. Yeah. As long as the slabs don't look as bad as like the Beckett booklet, so it's like a damn iPad with like the card just like smack in the center. Those things are like the most ridiculous.
I'll tell you some slabs. I mean, this might get me. People might disagree with this. I doubt it though. Did you see the HGA horizontal slabs?
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, not for me.
I
Definitely.
mean, you could argue not for anyone.
No.
Man, those are brutal looking.
Yeah, so, I mean, some people like it, dude. Some people are just like in it to, I saw. Okay, I thought this was pretty cool. I don't remember where I saw it. It might have been Instagram or Twitter or something. I guess his son is a big Jordan fan, so he had him write Jordan Alvarez, and he sent in a picture of it to HGA, and like was like, "Oh, can you put this as like his name on the slab?" And they put like his kid's writing on it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, but I mean, that's what they're kind of known for. Like, it's like gimmicky, which is kind of why people don't take it serious. But
I think that's where they catch a lot of their crap from. Is that is how it's viewed as gimmicky, even though that's not how they market themselves.
Yeah, their owner also has gotten into like Twitter fights with people, but that's another story. Yeah, that's another story. Yeah, so let's switch sports here a little bit. Ja Morant. I think he's got to be the MVP favorite right now, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like,
definitely.
Dude's absolutely balling right now.
Yeah, seeing him go off like this, it makes you think back to the, 2019-20 products that came out at the really start of this boom in early 2020. And at that time, Ja was kind of an afterthought, right, to Zion.
Yeah.
And, but I remember people were rushing out right when this boom was to try to clear any remaining Prism that was on the shelf. And then it was just a snowball from there when Mosaic Basketball came out. It's wild to think, these products that we're seeing on Target this week and stuff is really the next year's product, even though it's about a year and a half after they came out. It's still the following year's product, and it's doing nowhere near obviously basketball has corrected downward quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
they did have. Oh, I don't want to jump the gun like I did last week. Let me see if you wrote it down. No, you didn't write it down, so I will touch on it. One of his RPAs, I think it was jersey number, National Treasures True RPA, 560,000. I think it was a PSA 8 also.
PSA 8?
Yeah.
Half.
Because it was jersey number. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
And the guy that it was Shine 150 on Instagram, the infamous buyer of the fake Pokemon case. He purchased it. I think it was for, or no. The previous sale of the same card was a BGS 8.5, and it sold for like 60,000 on PWCC. Like,
wow,
like pretty recently too. So yeah, pretty insane increase in value for jersey number, for technically a lesser grade, depending on who you ask. But
I mean that's going for more than any rookie, any LaMelo or Edwards rookie this year.
Yeah, I mean rightfully so. Like the dude's playing excellent basketball. There's him and Allen Iverson have been kind of going back and forth on social media, which is cool. Yeah. Everyone that thinks they're like an NBA coach has been chiming in, saying they're not the same player, the usual stuff.
Yeah, we know how that is.
Yeah, everyone's an expert in everything. But yeah, this is an interesting one. So and I don't know if you've ran into this yourself. I have. The Topps redemption scratch off problem.
Yeah, they've been real bad, huh?
Yeah, so if people aren't familiar with it, basically, I don't remember what product it's. Oh, I know exactly which one it started with. It was MLS Sapphire Soccer.
Ooh.
And it was like the big chase is his autos or redemption, and there's an issue with the redemption tickets. You'd scratch it, and the code would go along with it, so you'd completely lose your code.
Yeah.
And then you got to call in. I think you have to mail it in. It's just and you know how getting Topps on the phone is. It's like near impossible.
Yeah, you have a better chance of getting into the White House or something.
Yeah, you literally have to call like right when they open. Otherwise, their automated system tells you you're like caller 4 for like 6 hours straight.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Plays elevator music while you're frustrated on the other side.
Yeah, so I don't know. You think maybe we kind of see something different than a scratch and sniff code here? Maybe like a QR
they have those
code?
things that they can just do a peel off thing as long as it's covered.
Yeah,
for when breakers pull and stuff like that, so people can't steal codes. I mean, all you gotta do is put a peel off sticker on it.
You think they're worried about people putting the sticker back on and trying to sell it? Like I guess maybe like a rip card, like kind of like they do with like Allen and Ginter, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I guess it could. Yeah, I mean, you can have it where it tears away and has that void left. That's asking too much. What are we talking about? Topps isn't going to do that. They're just going to keep it the same way and just deal with problems as they come in.
Fanatics is you're going to have to go buy an NFT to get your code to be able to redeem it. So
maybe they'll switch to scratch and sniff redemption, so you have to sniff it out.
I like it. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Trademarked it. Don't steal it, Topps.
Yeah. Another quote-unquote problem here. So Sports Card Investor has the Hits app. It's a pretty cool app. I mean, the application-wise, like, it's literally TikTok, but just for, like, sports card pulls. So they partnered with a bunch of... Yeah, which is cool. Like, it's pretty much just, like... And you went on TikTok and search, like, hashtag, like, sports cards, honestly. So it's just a bunch of big breakers that they partnered with, and they take all their big polls and put it as videos. So they went ahead and released Hits NFT, which was those exact videos, but sold as NFTs on OpenSea, and the response was terrible. Jake, did you watch his video? He actually put
I watched his, he started out kind of almost seemed like a little down in the dumps about it, but yeah, I did.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. they're trying to do something a little bit different. I mean, with Candy NFT, NFL All Day, Top Shot, they're all kind of the same packs and moments, quote unquote moments. So I tried something a little. I guess this is kind of a moment. Tried something a little different. Did not stick well. So they only sold 20 of them. And yeah, they did refund everyone any fees as well, which is nice to see. I mean, he's a stand-up guy. Like he's not in it to kind of scam any or rug pull. We'll say rug pull because we're talking about NFTs here.
Get your lingo right.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I mean, nice to see him that he's handling it. I think as everyone expected him to handle it. But I was never really interested in it. Yeah, you obviously didn't really have any interest in it. Sports with NFTs is, and we talked about this with Garrett. I think there needs to be a little bit more application to it to really let it boom in this space.
Yeah, and piece the two together, right? Like if they could do something where, you're only a holder of the digital asset if you own the physical asset or something like that. I mean, there has to be more integration to the physical side, I believe.
Yeah, and that's just because of the nature of the market and how sports card collectors are. Like, they want to something physical, having that card or that that graded card, that sealed box of cards. It's just like, I don't know. It's part of the collecting sports cards. It's part of the feeling. So right. the digital side is definitely cool. Definitely has space, in sports cards. But I mean, I think MLB is doing it best personally. Mm-hmm. I like some of the things they're doing, and we talked about the stadium collection where you get the actual print, the framed print of all the stadiums. So it'll be interesting to see how they tie it, if they tie it to actual physical cards too, because we've seen artwork, but
wish they'd tie this next one to the physical card.
This next one would be nice. So we are underway with the 1952 Mickey Mantle NFT. It started, I think, a couple days ago, yesterday or Tuesday.
First, so started yesterday. It ends what, on Friday?
Yeah, ends Friday at 1 Eastern. It's currently at 2.66 ETH on OpenSea. It's a one-on-one NFT.
For those who don't do ETH, it's about almost 8,000.
Yeah, yep. So it's about $8,000 right now. Where do you think it ends?
Man, I mean, I was highly speculating it before this. I would say, based on where it's at right now, maybe around 50 to 100K.
Yeah, you're. This is pretty damn funny, but you realize it's off-centered?
Yeah, it is. The rotating victory sure is. Yeah, it's heavy on the bottom.
It's heavy on the bottom. So shout out only Tops could make a digital card. That's not a PSA 10. So
that's just typical of them.
Yeah. So I think it's authentic. It's real. But yeah, it's pretty cool. 50,000 seems plausible. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Topps Timeless. This is going to be a collection. So this is the first one that they have. Going to expect to see more and more pop up. So we'll see. I don't even know what they could do next. I mean, they started with arguably one of the most iconic cards here.
They started with the Grail.
I'm just reading this proof of attendance badge. So, okay, so if you bid on the auction, you could redeem a one-time only event exclusive POAP, so proof of attendance protocol badge. Not really sure if that's has any application at all. Maybe it's kind of almost like PWCC if you've ever done any of their auctions. To be able to participate in extended bidding on a product or a card, you have to bid initially at all. So that's interesting. So that'll be cool to kind of follow. It only has 162 favorites on it. So We'll see. Maybe they'll push it a little bit more these next couple days.
Well, you got to take your guess. Where do you think it's going to end up? We'll see who's closer.
I'm gonna say 38,000
Okay.
is my guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. If you would have, like I said, I think we talked about it in one of the podcast episodes. That I mean, this thing, who knows? If it's the only one of its kind and people get hyped behind it, what does it do? $1 million? Does it do $500,000?
Yeah.
Now we're thinking under 50K.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the price of like a PSA 2 physical card. So
people are having to play around with this now since there may not be baseball.
Yeah. Speaking of, fire Rob Manfred, the man clown.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. That dude's a joke.
You see him smiling after. So
yeah,
the opening day is canceled. The first 2 series of the season are canceled after the players rejected what the owners called their best and final offer. And Rob Manfred did an interview after that meeting, the final meeting, and canceled games, and had a smile on his face, was laughing. It's like, this is not a good time for baseball.
Yeah, it's a little rough. So basically, anyone that's not on the 40-man is still going to show up and play. So a lot of the top prospects, which should be interesting to see how the market reacts. With a lot of the guys that we're expecting to be up, that are going to be playing still. Prospecting is arguably the biggest market in baseball. I mean, some of the top guys, their stuff is still high, but I don't know. When I think of prospecting, I still think of like first Bowmans, and even if they're second, third year player. But that it'll be interesting to see kind of how the market goes, because everyone was like loading up and gearing up for baseball, and we don't have baseball.
Right. Sad day.
Yeah, it's definitely a bummer. And I've seen a couple people talk about this on Twitter, most notably my boy Ronnie, and he's made a really good point. Like, they put a picture out yesterday of the MLB players that were at the negotiations, and dude, it's hard to identify any of them. Like, they have bigger issues with baseball than the shit they're dealing with, and one is definitely marketing their players. Like,
it all affects the younger gen. I mean, that's a lot. You've seen a lot of these people. I saw today Mike Trout made a post about the younger generation of players, and Anthony Rizzo, all these guys that are kind of heads of their area, that basically what they're doing this for the younger generation, because one of the big issues that we talked about was the service time thing and the minimum salary kind of thing. It's all these things that are affecting these young players that are trying to make it.
Yeah, I mean, even the guys that are in the league, dude, there's like young guys that, obviously besides Soto, Tatis, Acuna, Ohtani, that like, dude, they're great players, but like it's hard to know who they are. And Ronnie tweeted, I don't remember exactly what it said, but he's like, look at football. Like, these dudes are in full pads, helmets, and like, you could go and be like, oh, dude, that's like David Bakhtiari, like O-lineman. Like, you just know, because like the NFL is really good at pushing their players. You got the NFL Top 100, all these awards, like
Combine where they're introducing,
yeah, and baseball's just not good at that, at all. So
they're capitalizing on them. I mean, they're making money off them.
This jackass, I could not believe this. He was complaining about the revenue, saying that they like had decreased revenue, since like 2019, which was like the start of the pandemic. But they're still averaging like a $10 billion a year revenue. He's just ridiculous. He's just a puppet for these owners.
Listen to this from Trout. This is what Trout posted today. I want to play. I love the game, but I know we need to get this right. Instead of bargaining in good faith, the MLB locked us out. Instead of negotiating a fair deal, Rob canceled games. Players stand together for our game, for our fans, and for everyone that comes after us. We owe it to the next generation. Straight out called out the commissioner. Good for him.
Yeah, and he's got to. I mean, I know he doesn't really want to be in the spotlight. He just wants to play baseball. But, dude, we're missing, like, prime years of some of these guys, like, which sucks, dude. Like, you're not going to get to see some of these dudes kind of, like, push some of these records, that are fabulous hitters, like Soto, Tatis. Like, these dudes that can absolutely rake in the league. And we've lost Acuna to injury, a shortened season. We've lost a season of Trout to injury. Like, it just sucks all around. Like, if you're a fan of baseball at all.
Right.
So hopefully they get it squared away sooner rather than later. But I mean, in the meantime, we do got F1 coming back. The Bahrain Grand Prix. I think I'm saying that right. Bahrain. Yeah. So that is, what is it, March 20th. So you got like the practice and the qualifying and stuff a couple days before. I mean, I think
Your boy made a little bit of money recently. Did you see that?
Who?
Max.
I mean, he's not my boy. I'm with the
Oh,
GOAT.
Hamilton.
Hamilton's my boy. I'm with the GOAT.
He tied your boy.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen got a new 40 million euro a year deal with Red Bull, which is what Hamilton's making with Mercedes.
Yeah. I mean,
How do you feel about that?
I mean, he deserves it. Like, he's the face of obviously their team. He's an excellent driver. People can't, like, I can't be mad at him because, like, it's really not his fault, like, what happened at the end of the season last year. So I don't think Hamilton has any grudges against him, but I hope they go head to head, like, as close as it was this year. Like, it's just, I think with any sport, it's more fun. Like, if you're, like, this always happens in the NFC East. Cowboys, Eagles, it usually, like, comes down to the last game of the season. They're playing, winner goes to the playoffs, winner goes home. Like, stuff like that. I think it's just better for the sport. NFL's really good at setting those up. Makes you wonder, but that's besides the point. But yeah, it'll be an interesting season. I think there's a lot of names that people are excited to see. I mean, you got Carlos Sainz over with Ferrari now, with Charles Leclerc. Shout out to him. So that should be an interesting team because they're both pretty good drivers. So obviously, like, only one person can win. So we'll see who kind of takes the lead there. But yeah, exciting stuff.
The favorites are still these two, though, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I think, a lot of people are excited to see George Russell, but, like, I don't know how they could put Russell over Hamilton. So I think it's more of like a future play there.
He's in his sophomore year.
Yeah, I mean, but you never know, dude. Maybe, like, Hamilton just comes out and sucks. Like,
maybe.
You just never know with this stuff.
I doubt it. He's got that sweet new car. Did you see his new ride?
Oh yeah, dude.
They're good looking.
Yeah, they're sick. It's always interesting to see, like, what they change. Like, if you watched Drive to Survive last year, like, when Mercedes introduced their new steering mechanism that moved in and out to take turns, like, the response of the other teams was like, that's illegal. Like, that's got to be illegal. But the engineering that goes into this, I think, is a side that a lot, and I don't know anything about engineering cars at all.
Either.
But you could tell, like, the precision and the math and whatnot that goes into this is pretty crazy. And any advantage you could get, dude. If you could take that top pole position to start first, that's huge. No one's in front of you. So any advantage these guys could get that's legal, they're gonna go for. So pretty interested to see what we got this year on that front. Yeah, and then, dude, my boy, Derek Jeter, he's gone. Stepped down as the CEO of the Marlins. He didn't really do anything, like, at all. No. He gave the Yankees stand. I think that's, like, his biggest, like, contribution as a CEO.
I'm right. I mean, being a player that was a player advocate, he served with I know he was spokesperson for at least a couple years for the players union.
Yeah.
Maybe he's caught in the middle of this owner player feud and just didn't want anything to do with it anymore.
Yeah, it could be. He seems like a no bullshit kind of guy. Like, doesn't really, like, want conflict. Just kind of wants to chill. He's got that look about him, though. But yeah, we'll see what's next for Jeets. Obviously one of my favorite players of all time. And then the last thing we got here, I'm not too familiar with this, but Fox was sued over the new spring football
United
league.
States Football League. That's their new. It's supposed to be in the spring, kind of like a minor league football season, kind of similar to the CFL.
Okay. No one watches
that
that.
was slated to start in April, and now they're being sued from, I would assume, the NFL.
I don't understand why. Okay, I get like the need or desire for like a minor league for football, but dude, the NFL is a goddamn powerhouse. Like,
Yeah.
it just won't work. Like,
Well, and the other thing too is Fox has NFL contracts, right? I mean, they have.
yeah,
It's weird. It's weird that they would step out, especially without at least the blessing of the NFL.
yeah. It seems kind of like someone missed something. Like when they were negotiating that, they're like, "Oh yeah, like,
Ain't enough to dig into what it is, but yeah, I think you're right.
like, oh crap, we forgot about like Monday Night Football."
Oops.
Yeah, it's a little big. It's a little big mess up there. uh, yeah. So I kind of alluded to this earlier, but let's run through some of the big sales here that we saw. Um, my boy Patty Mahomes, his XRC rookie, which is from 2016 Select, so that's like the first rookie card in football. His gold prism, so that's out of 10. BGS 9 for 75K.
Solid.
Yeah, solid price.
That would have been a redemption in the 2016 Select product.
Yeah, which is I know people go look like, oh crap, like Mahomes rookies in 2016. Then you gotta remember it's a redemption, so those things are expired.
If they were still honoring it, I wonder what the difference in price between 2016 Select and 2017 Select. I have to assume it's pretty big.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, it's massive. I actually did almost buy once. There was a tie-dye redemption that was expired for Mahomes that someone had on eBay. I forget how it went for a couple thousand.
You know what's funny? If you opened a box of that and you pulled a redemption for QB1 and you got all excited and then realized it was Mitch Trubisky.
Dude, I saw people buying up Mitch Trubisky on Twitter. I'm not going to name names.
Yeah, but Vegas Dave bought up Derek Carr. So, I mean, people will buy whatever they want, I guess. But
exactly.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. This is pretty cool. A 97 Topps Finest MJ and Boston Refractor.
That's a good looking card.
Yeah, BGS 9, 85,000. So typical
number, no auto. That's just old school Jordan.
Yeah, typical Jordan sale. This is one of my favorite parallels from National Treasures. The Stars and Stripes. Yeah. Joe Burrow out of 20, BGS 9.9, which that 9 auto really does knock it down a bit. Sold for 90,000. So
weird. His auto's usually pretty clean. A lot of his autos are getting 10s.
Yeah, it might have. I haven't seen the card, but it might have just been smudged because it's that acetate type card on those ones. This is a pretty cool one too. 76 Walter Payton rookie card, PSA 10 for 104,000.
That's impressive having a 76 football card 10.
Yeah, I didn't see the cert number on it. Was it a newer one, like recently graded?
I think it was based on the cert number. I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah, that is very impressive. That's tough to do. Another one of my guys, 52 Mickey Mantle, PSA 6, 150,000. Haven't seen a picture of this one. 150 seems like a pretty good price. I know PSA 1s are about 30, 35. Do you know where this one sold?
It was on eBay.
This was eBay.
Yeah. Would you rather have, assuming the NFT one goes at 50, would you rather have 3 of those NFTs or one of the PSA 6s?
One of the PSA 6s.
I agree.
Okay. Oh, it was Probstein. Oh yeah, this thing's. I mean, it's pretty off-centered.
It's real heavy left if I remember right.
It's so clean though. It's really clean. Yeah, 150,000. That seems right. That thing was centered. It's easily over 200,000.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely clean. Everything other than the center is really bad. But
yeah.
Here's another one too. 1958, old Topps football. Jim Brown rookie card, 8.5 PSA. Did 360K.
That's a lot.
Impressive.
I don't know the market on that, or even how many are graded that high.
I assume the pop's incredibly low.
If it's going 360,000,
yep.
Someone really wanted that card.
We had a couple massive pulls this week too.
Just a few. shocker, Leighton Sports Cards. I know they get a lot of crap for people thinking that they're get loaded boxes, but
not though.
Yeah, they got a 101 National Treasures LaMelo Ball. It's not the true RPA. It's a clutch factor, so it's like a parallel, but I mean it's still a 101 RPA.
Take it.
Of LaMelo Ball. So that's pretty cool. 03 Upper Deck LeBron James RPA out of 25 pulled on Whatnot. I hope it wasn't those backyard breakers.
It was not. I looked it up to make sure it wasn't.
Do you know who it was by chance or no?
No, I forget. It was actually saw it in their ad. Scrolling through social media, I saw it in their ad and I had to go look it up. But it was not a huge breaker.
I mean, it gotta be decently sized for breaking that product, but that's pretty damn cool. And then I'll let you take this last one here.
Yeah. So we have a special guest this episode. He is our third massive pull of the week and the most massive by far. Our guest is Brett Comincioli, a good friend of mine. We've been collecting together. He pulled the 2022 Top Series 1 First Edition Wander Franco Platinum 101, which is the chase in that product. There is a 1-of-1 auto, but it is an insert auto. This is the base Platinum 101 First Edition, as big as it gets.
Yeah, so let's
bring him in.
Yeah, let's switch up here and we will get Brett in and let's talk some Wander Franco, baby.
Brett, man, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me in. I'm super pumped to be here. Glad you guys reached out.
Yeah, it's what a big week. Probably the biggest you've ever had in the hobby, yeah?
Yeah, huge week. We'll get to this in a little bit, but it's been a whirlwind for me from the minute after I ended the video, after pulling that monster of a card. It's just been insanity. You just never know when something's going to go viral like that. And I've had thousands of messages, texts, YouTube comments, and I never use my Twitter, and my Twitter just blew up. And then dealing, we'll get to this in a little bit, but when you're trying to deal with selling a monster card, there's a lot more to it than that. So I've been kind of working through that stage as well on top of everything. So it's been exciting. I will say that. Been exciting.
Not to mention, you've been featured on quite a few major pages. Golden had you reposted. You were on Barstool Sports, which was exciting. They even had your signature Kaboom line when you pulled it, and that was really cool to see.
Yeah, I was pumped about the Barstool when you tagged me and sent that to me. I was like, whoa, I love Barstool. And that's when my Twitter really went nuts. My phone was just ringing nonstop. So I enjoyed seeing it. And, the cool thing is people outside the hobby that I know saw it too. And they were like, whoa, this is crazy. People just don't understand how big the sports card hobby actually is.
Yeah.
You've been in it a while, right? I mean, so Nico and I were talking. I was telling a little bit about we've been collecting together for the last year and a half or so. But you've been in the hobby, started collecting young. Tell us a little bit about what got you started and where you've come from.
Yeah, I've been a sports fanatic since I was a kid. I really couldn't afford to buy a lot of cards, but I bought a little bit of packs when I was a kid. I was really into Michael Jordan. And so I collected lots of posters. I wish I had all those Jordan posters back in the day that I had on my wall. And then when I became graduated from college and got my first job, I had a little money. I'm a teacher. Moved to Houston, Texas, and I bought a little baseball out there. I forgot what year that was. It was Heritage. They had the red and black. It was an amazing product. I fell in love with that product. I've been in a NASCAR. I used to go to tons of NASCAR races. So I've gotten lots of autos and die-cast cars. So I've always liked that stuff, but I never really got into buying tons of sports cards until after I got divorced in 2015. I walked into a store and the Cubs were hot and I bought my first box, and literally things have changed for me since then. It's such a that's kind of how I got into buying, and it's led to buying a little, and then it became a lot, and then it became a lot more. And it led to this. It was a long process, and it's crazy how you got here. It's a huge pull, but there's a lot of backstory behind that, where just didn't happen overnight,
Right. Yeah, you've had some big polls, right? I mean, we were talking, Nico and I, we both got, obviously we're all Montgomery Club members in here. So we got our box.
Shout out to the 582.
Yeah, 582, shout out. I think all three of us did something a little bit different with it. I moved mine pretty quick. Which is, I didn't know how well this product would do. I underestimated a little bit. Nico, I think you stashed yours, right?
Yeah, mine still has yet to show up. I think it's going to be here tomorrow, but I think I'm just going to put it. I mean, I know like it's like, oh, the biggest hit's gone, but I mean, there's a ton.
Thanks
There's
a lot,
ton.
Brett.
Yeah, thanks, Brett.
Sorry, guys.
Ruined my box price, but no, I mean, there's a ton of other hits in there. I think Jake, we probably have similar feelings on Wander as a player. Yeah, kid's an absolute stud, and I think he that hitting streak, it was pretty cool. I think he kind of lived up so far to some of the hype he had, which is tough to do. Like we saw Kalenic really struggle to kind of live up to some of his hype, and so far, I mean, Wander's done that. So, yeah, I think for now, and who knows if prices get like even crazier than they are right now, maybe I'll sell it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stash it away. I mean, I only have one membership.
I moved mine. You stashed yours. Brett decided to rip. One of those was an unbelievable idea. But Wander Franco has been, obviously, we talked about prevalent in the hobby since 2019. Brett, that's kind of when we met and started going around looking for mega boxes, and that was Wander's year. Back then, when you were opening 2019 Bowman looking for Wander first, did you ever imagine that this was something like this was possible?
No, you always dream of pulling like the premier card out of a product, but the odds are against you, and especially now. But I think that's one of the reasons I opened this product, knowing that it was printed a lot less, with around 7,000 to 7,500 boxes.
Sure.
And again, for me, I've kind of got a theory of why I open it, because I love baseball. I was into that product for way less than I would never buy that box for $1,000 personally. So that makes it easy. Plus, the YouTube channel kind of influences too. Sure. And but to dream of pulling that card. Again, it's like I'm still in shock in certain ways, and I had no idea that was the 1-on-1 card. People asked me if I was playing. I did not think that was the 1-on-1 card.
You just like,
I thought it was a parallel with the stars,
like an Independence Day.
When I knew it was a parallel. Yeah, I actually, when I saw the stars, that's what came. I'm like, man, this is going to be numbers. It's going to be the 76. I've seen enough Independence Day parallels, and I'm like. And when I turned around, I was truly shocked. I was like, oh, man. I mean, you guys saw my reaction. I've had so many messages about people people like love that reaction. And it's like, oh, it was genuine, I can't replicate that.
You can see it in your hands a little bit too. It was just, it's impossible not to shake, and it's almost like a happy panic.
I like your logic though with it. Like,
it was,
Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, it's when I pulled it and I had it in my hand, I had an adrenaline rush. I mean, it was you don't feel that too often when you're opening cards. It just hit you like, oh my gosh, and my heart rate was rolling and I was shaking. I was trying to take it easy with the card, and I was struggling to get into the sleeve. I will say this about that too. There's people who have commented here and there, and I try to stay away from negativity. I did not damage that card any worse than it was. One of the reasons it wouldn't go in the sleeve is because that if you go back and watch it on, because I've watched it on YouTube on a big screen TV, that corner was damaged a little bit, and but I was nervous and I was struggling, but I had to put it down, man. I was like, holy crap, this is a monster.
Anyone would have been there. Obviously, Nico, did you read through any of the social media comments? I mean, you're going to naturally, when you pull that, you drew the attention of the whole hobby, so you're going to find trolls out there and people that are just jealous that they're not the ones that got it.
I'm
Nico said he's willing to make you a 10 grand offer on it right now, but I think that's a little low.
I might be a little low. I mean, the thing that shocks me the most is that a card came out of a Topps product somewhat damaged. You just don't see that. You just don't see that from them.
Yeah, right.
Brett, what was your biggest pull like to date before that? Like, did you pull any like super fractors or like anything else?
I mean, out of the box, I pulled out of Topps Chrome Sapphire Soccer. I pulled a Erling Haaland out of 99 yellow.
That's pretty
and cool. That was a big card. I sold that as a PSA 9 for $5K, but the difference with that one is I didn't really know Erling Haaland, and I didn't know his values were that big. Again, when I pulled it, I didn't think it was that big. Another card that I had in my possession was a 2019 Topps Series 2 Fernando Tatis Jr. Independence Day. But again, when I pulled it, I wasn't on camera, and Tatis wasn't that big when that product came out. His name was out there, but it wasn't like
it was all about Vlad at the time.
Yeah, and I pulled a few other bigger cards, but nothing compares to this one. The one of my funnest openings that I've ever had outside of this one is I had purchased some 2019 Topps Series 2 hanger boxes on the second on eBay, and opened those for my first live opening on YouTube, and pulled 2 gold Tatis numbered cards out of those. I think it was 18 boxes, and that was crazy too. So I've had some good openings, but I mean, I don't know what the value is on this card, but it's not even going to be close to what I've pulled to date.
Yeah, it's like you said, the odds are against you to pull the card from a product. Like, this is the card, and you mentioned, there weren't a lot of boxes. There's only, I think it's like 6,000 base cards of each player. So I mean, if there was a box to open with this big of a chase, I think this is the way. Like, if you got it at cost at $350, this is the box to open. If you're willing to kind of like look past that profit from the box itself, which is also kind of why I want to stash mine away. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll get that urge to open it one day. But yeah, that's pretty big. Jake, what was your biggest pull? I don't know if I've ever asked you.
Man, we can pull good cards. I get good cards pulled for me in breaks once in a while. I think I'm trying to think the biggest. I did pull a Eloy Jimenez rookie out of 2019 Series 2 Black, which was fun. Although his market's not taking off like we thought it would. You know what I did pull? I had a green out of 99 Ohtani out of 2018 Chrome. But at the time, Ohtani's market was not near what it was now. So
yeah,
I wish I would have had that card back. Brett, you also didn't. Brett, you had was it in a break or did you pull it yourself? You had a Wander. Was it an Atomic Auto or Speckle Auto?
Yeah, it was the Cracked Ice Atomic.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, Brad at Underground Case Breaks pulled that on like opening week of Bowman Draft. I hit that one right away, and so I've had a couple nice cards there, and the hobby's so fun. Yeah. I wish we could go back to 2019 and buy all the Bowman Draft we could.
Are you done opening Series 1 now? Is that it?
I actually have a couple. I had a dream the other night that I opened up a blaster box and pulled the Platinum 101 Wander. How amazing would that be? But that's never going to happen with as much as they made of Series 1. But I got a couple hobby boxes from Topps that I'd like to open, and I usually go balls to the wall on flagship products, but they made a lot of this product, and that really, again, that was one of the reasons I opened the first edition, because it's new. It's a new product, and it's short. It's printed so way less than all these other products. Yeah. I'm really concerned about going forward, with Series 2 and update with the same kind of thing, know?
Yeah. I mean, they got the printers on and they're not shutting them off. That's for sure. Do you think if you end up pulling the Superfractor out of Chrome, then we know something's up?
Oh my God.
It'll go from Topps to sending Phil Hughes loaded boxes to Topps is sending Brett loaded boxes.
Yeah. So tell us, Brett, what do you do you have plans for the card? Do you have anything set in stone yet, or any ideas of what you're going to do with it?
I do have plans, and I that's what it was not stressful, it was exciting. But again, going back to this, when you always think about pulling the monster card, but then there's a lot of different ways you can sell it. And I was like, I don't want to sell this card on eBay for personal reasons. I don't really trust. I've been kind of an eBay hater and got off eBay about a year ago. So I was looking at that route. And then I was looking at some private sellers, but I decided to send it to Golden Auction. So they have it already, and they're going to grade it with PSA. So I don't have to deal with that. I did not want to ship it to PSA myself and then have it shipped back, right? So it goes out to California, back to Illinois. And then next thing you know, you're shipping out to Golden in New Jersey. So it's just too many. It's in the plane too much. Too much can happen to a card that big going back and forth. I wanted to get it taken care of it and get it in their hands. So Golden Auctions has it. And
did they give you some sort of timeline or something, like when they should have it graded and when the auction will be? Or
so the auction should be either late March or kind of early to middle of April.
Okay.
Because they usually do a monster auction to kind of kick off the baseball season. Now, with the lockout and all that stuff, who knows what's going to happen, but it should be coming up in the next, 3 to 5 weeks, let's say. I'm looking forward to seeing what grade it is. I'm predicting that card gets an 8 for a grade. Jake knows, but a lot of people don't know. I've graded over 1,500 cards in the last year, so I've got a decent eye, not perfect, but I do believe this is probably going to get a PSA 8.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I don't think that'd hurt it too much, to be honest. I mean,
no, I don't think so.
Go out and get another one.
Yeah, exactly. Did you consider maybe just getting it authenticated, or do you think that just getting it to help more?
So when I talked to Golden, they said they had they have a relationship with PSA, and they didn't tell me I had to grade it with PSA, but they want to get it graded with PSA. I think they have a partnership. Another thing too is I had people reaching out. I had other entities reaching out to me during this process, which is crazy. Beckett contacted me and said that they would grade the card for free. I had a couple other auction houses contact me about having it in their auction too. I had a few other offers on the card. Nothing. I mean, it's hard to tell how serious people are on the internet,
Yeah.
But
give us a couple numbers if you don't, unless you don't want to. But what kind of offers were you getting on social media?
The highest was 50K. Again, I don't know how legit that is. I did get one that I know from a legit person at 30K. But again, I would rather just take my chance at auction and see where it rides. Because, I mean, guys, this card, we can all talk about the value. Some people, think it's a $250,000 card. Some people think it's a $25,000 card. Nobody really knows until it goes to auction and see what somebody's willing to pay for it. I would not be surprised either way. I would not be surprised at 20,000, and I wouldn't be surprised if it went for 250,000. You don't know.
Yeah, I think just the sole reason that there's a really slim chance that his Platinum 101 gets pulled from regular series 1, because there's so much of it.
Much of it.
Yeah, someone's gonna want this card and they're gonna go after it. I think there's gonna be a few people going after it. So I think it's gonna blow past that 30,000 in my opinion. Jake, I don't know what your thoughts are. I think it hits 6 figures, honestly.
Yeah, I think I was thinking the other day. I was like, I bet you it ends up right around in between 100 to 150, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I could see.
Man,
that.
we should do like a pool. Put up a pool and see who gets the closest.
That's not a bad idea.
But I've been mulling back and forth with like the product. It's a first time product. and I'm interested to see how. I have not looked at any. I have not had time to sit down. Usually, like when a product comes out, I'll get on eBay and start looking through the solds of this product. I've not looked at any solds of this product because I've literally been on the phone and replying to emails and texts and messages and making. It's been nuts, but I would like to see how the hobby adopts this product being a first. I believe it helps the product. Like I almost think it's better than the typical Series 1, but you don't know how the hobby is going to react to it. Is this first Wander Platinum, just equally or a little bit less than the Platinum? I personally would rather have the Platinum out of Series 1, regular Series 1, but I don't think this one is that much lower. But we'll see what the market decides,
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance that as much as they made that the Platinum 101 out of Series 1 never gets pulled.
Yeah.
It's in the box forever.
I think something that really helps Series 1 first edition is the fact that Series 1 is a paper product. So with Bowman, it's all about the Chrome cards and the Chrome autos. So it's like, oh, this is just a paper product, like Bowman first edition. Like, who the hell is going to want this? Series 1 is a paper product. So the fact that we have Series 1 first edition, it's a paper product, I think it helps. That we're not taking a Chrome and now we're turning it into paper kind of thing. So I think it'll hold up well long term. For the singles and just for the fact of the low print runs, which everyone, you say the word print run and it's like, everyone just gets all hot and heavy about it. So I think it's going to help for sure.
Yeah.
We were talking about this the other day. It's a good problem to have when your biggest problem is figuring out what you want to do with your possible 6-figure card.
Yeah, that is true.
Never a bad thing. That's exciting. So what are your when you get the auction results and you get that stuff, are you gonna invest some of it back in the hobby? You gonna pay off your house? I know on the live video you said this might pay off my house, and I think you might be right.
Yeah, it really just depends on how much it sells for. I've lived, again, a lot of people don't know this. Like, people are like, they can't believe I'm a teacher. If you watch my YouTube video and see what I've done, is they don't believe that I'm a teacher, that buying that much cards. But if this is $100,000 card, I will definitely pay off my house because I owe about 60 on it. Again, I live very modest lifestyle. It's not like I'm wearing a Rolex and I drive a Honda Pilot. It's a great car and I have a good time, but I will pay off the house. That's my plan. I would love to just have no debt, have no car payment, no house payment, and then again, I'm gonna keep buying some cards here and there. We all have that's why the hobby's cool too, in my opinion. I could talk about the hobby all day. Is we're all different collectors at heart. Some people collect certain sports and all sports. Some people collect sealed product and put it away. I like to open baseball, and to be able to keep opening product as much as I have to sell some cards, plain and simple.
Right.
And part of that was grading cards and really getting a good amount, and then just keep the flow going. Sell a bunch of graded cards, buy a bunch of product, hit huge cards, keep what you want a PC, and then keep the wheels turning. So without being able to grade cards and with that value, I don't really want to put as much. I don't want to be buying as much product as I was. Because, Jake, I opened up a ton of Series 1 last year and had a great time doing it. I'm not doing that this year because you're never going to dig out of, you're not going to break. Like, that's been my goal in the hobby is, okay, I want to open stuff for free,
Yeah.
So,
what would have been cool to do with this card is do the Logan Paul, get it graded, and wear it around your neck like a necklace to the national.
Yeah. For some reason, Brett doesn't come across like that kind of guy. But
no. If I actually talked to a friend about this, is the one reason I did want to grade it myself and kind of get it in my possession is to do a few more videos and get some content out of it. But you guys see my YouTube channel. I've said it before. It's amateur hour at its best.
Yep.
I go live, let it roll, produce it. I don't edit my videos. What you see is what you get. So, I mean, I got 3,000 subscribers. You know, does that bring in a few hundred more? It's like, you know, I just don't want to risk this to just do a couple more episodes with it.
Sure.
But I wouldn't mind doing like a watch party or something like that on the auction to see what it goes for.
That'd be cool.
You know, something like
Nico's
that.
gonna be
But
bidding on it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe early on with the beginning bids, but I don't know when it gets a little high. But yeah. I mean, Brett, I you know, this is the first time we've spoken, but I mean, I saw so many tweets. Couldn't happen to a better guy. So that's really awesome, man, that you hit it. So it's nice to see you know, someone that's, you know, really into ripping and collecting hit the big one. And you know, to be able to, like, you know, have someone that has a social media presence also hit it is cool, because I think that's a big part of the hobby today. You know, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. So yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Brett,
I really appreciate that. One thing to go with that before we go farther is I have nothing. I love breakers. I get in breaks all the time too. One of my pet peeves though is when the breakers kind of brag about that they pull all the biggest fire. You know, I mean, when you're opening up 10 cases of cards a week or a day, you're gonna pull fire. So as a personal breaker, when I pull it, I mean, heck, man, when I pull $100 card, I'm pumped. You know, so being a personal breaker, not have anybody, nobody funds what I open. Every single penny that I open is my money, and nobody can take that away from me. So I'm genuine with my comments. I feel like I'm talking to my friends on my YouTube, which they are, and I've met some of the subscribers that I would consider, you know, my friends, because I'm not a business. I'm a person. I go to card shows. I talk to people, and it's in my nature as a, you know, as a teacher, to get personal and get to know people, not judge people until you really know them. And so I really appreciate that comment.
Well, again, we very much appreciate you coming on with us, man. Congratulations again. Do us a favor. Tell us where we can find you, where the listeners can find you, to plug your YouTube, where they can go watch the video and your upcoming stuff.
Yeah, I use my personal name on my YouTube channel. It's Brett, Brett, like as in Brett Favre, and then my last name's Comincioli, Comincioli. So that's my YouTube. It's, if I would have predicted this, I would have had a YouTube channel name that was a lot easier to say. But again, it's my personal account, and that's how I started it. And
I think you
I didn't start.
you got to change it to Wandermania now. I think
Wandermania. Hey,
yeah.
man, that's the funny thing is I knew this year. I was last fall when I knew Wander's card was going to be in here. Every time I went on, I was like, this is Wandermania. I've been talking about Wandermania. I knew Series 1 was going to be hot. But even with regular Series 1, I can't believe how fast, and as much as they printed, I can't believe how fast that stuff is flying off the shelf. And the price of hobby boxes is crazy. So the demand is there, which is, I would have never guessed, with one player in the product. It's wild.
Exciting. Well, we'll have to have you back on again when you got your Lambo money or your house money or whatever you decide to do with all that cash that you're about to get, man. We'll have you back on, and
oh yeah,
if you're not too famous for us by then.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, guys, and you guys keep up the grind on the podcast. Thanks again, and you guys have a good one. Okay.
You too, man.
Awesome.
Congrats again.
Thanks, Brett.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye.
See you guys.